Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Real Leel, and I am back again. Every day, there are news going on in the world of sports and pop culture, and I get my unique takes on them. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get all the latest updates on these hottest news and see the full episodes of my radio shows, The Real Leel Show, college and podcast version, In the Huddle, and What's Your Grind Like podcast. Daily updates, breaking news on my Instagram page, weekly blogs. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoy the content.
I'm glad I did this show with you guys. You know, it's cool.
It was a pleasure. Because
Mondays be a little rough, and I feel like this is like an outlet that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah. Especially Mondays, the first day of the week.
Yeah.
It's all, so this was a calm, like, chill, hangout spot to get, like, stuff out your mind.
Yeah. Be so angry from the week. Just let it out.
I feel like we experienced pop culture together. We experienced the sad moment of hip hop together.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We experienced
Nipsey Hussle.
black culture together.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Central New York. It's your boy Real Leel, and I am back again. Central New York. Live from the WSUC FM Cortland radio station in Central New York brings you another brand new episode of the Real Leel Show, where I give my unique takes on the latest news going on in the world of sports and pop culture. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my first show of the semester, the first show of my senior year, and we just wrapped up a pretty good summer of work. I got my guest on the show. If y'all on YouTube, y'all already know who she is. She's one of my guests on the one of my co-hosts on What's Your Grind Like, right? What's Your Grind Like podcast, a podcast that is dedicated to promoting brands and businesses across the city while talking the latest news going on in the world of pop culture. Sometimes sports, we throw sports in there too, but on this show, we definitely throw sports and pop culture in it together. But she's back, and for those of y'all in Central New York, definitely subscribe to Real Leel TV. That's what you want to do. You'll catch up on all the episodes that you missed this summer because we put out a lot. The Real Leel Show podcast version, What's Your Grind Like podcast. We got In the Huddle Sports Radio Show starting up on Monday on Labor Day. For those of y'all who just strictly sports fan, right? If y'all sports fan and that's all y'all want to listen to is sports, well, Monday is y'all day on the 90.5 FM airwaves, 8 to 10. We're going to start that up. But for right now, we got a show to complete. Obviously, the season finale prior to the show was 3.5 hours long. And I'm not saying we're gonna be 3.5 hours long because people got things to do tonight.
It's nice outside.
And it's nice outside, right? Exactly, right now. It's like, what, 70-something degrees?
It's like 75 out here in Cortland. But elsewhere it's probably like better, maybe 70 degrees. So like if it's feeling nice outside, go enjoy a cup of lemonade. You know how they say.
Gotta get the lemonade. Or the iced tea. It depends because everybody's different. Like what you like? You like the lemonade or the iced tea?
I mean, I've been cutting back on juice, so
I feel you. I
prefer lemonade.
Gotta get that water. You feel me?
Yes, drink y'all water.
Stay hydrated.
Fully
feel
hydrated.
Me? Never faded. Hydrated. That's how you gotta do.
You starting
I'm starting with the bars. It's a new year. I'm starting off with the bars, ladies and gentlemen. Starting off with the bars. Y'all already know. How it is right now. But like I said, we got In the Huddle starting off on Monday, and we got a lot of news to get into today in the world of sports and pop culture. Like I said, we're gonna start off with a little sports, then we're gonna head to the pop culture side of things. And if you just want to see sports and you just want to listen to sports, and just tune in Monday. But for right now, we gotta get this, or shall I say? She know how I go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get this show on the road. But anyway, right now I'm gonna start off by talking about Kobe Bryant and Shaq, who's been making headlines this week. It started off when Kobe Bryant was doing an interview, and he he basically said that Shaq would have been the greatest of all time, and they would have won 12 rings together had this brother got his lazy behind in shape and had his same work ethic, right? Then Shaq responded by saying, You would have had 12 rings if you passed the ball more. Ooh, okay, Shaq with the response. So, and he also added, you don't get your status by not working hard. You feel me? So Kobe then responded by making another tweet saying he meant no disrespect, yada yada yada. And Shaq responded by saying it's all good, bro. When I saw it, I thought you was talking about the white, or in his letters he put D White. Is that how you spell his name? He added. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, my thoughts on it is just basically, we all know about the Kobe and Shaq's rivalry and them being teammates together, them being one of the most unstoppable Batman and Robin there was in the NBA. Won 3 championships back to back to back, and Kobe, he was the assassin, and Shaq, he was a force on the rim. Nobody can guard him in the paint, right? But obviously, and like all dynasties, they don't last forever. Things get in the way. Ego gets in the way of a dynasty. Sometimes it's hard to put aside, your ego when it comes to a dynasty. You even see it with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady in New England, even though that dynasty still goes on because they won last year. But it was messed up at a moment in time simply because, just for a little bit, simply because it was, Bill Belichick, you got to get the credit. Tom Brady, he's the GOAT. He got to get the credit. It's hard in this day and age of social media, right? And even then, social media wasn't at its prime, but it's even harder now to, put aside egos and certain egos. And that's what happened with Shaq and Kobe Bryant. The ego got in the way. And a lot of people talk about Kobe, and they well deserve that he doesn't pass the ball a lot. He doesn't pass the ball. There's even a report that came out today adding to the fire, right, that WYGL said that Shaq had a secret code for the Lakers to stop passing the ball to Kobe Bryant on the court. So we all know Kobe Bryant was that type of dude that he had to have the ball in his hands. But one thing's for sure, that Kobe Bryant, we all know Kobe Bryant wanted to win. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to win. And if you wasn't showing up in the fourth quarter and you wasn't ready to go, just like MJ, he was going to take the ball and that was it. He was going to take that shot. Shaq was more of a team player. Obviously, Shaq, he bought some of his dudes, his teammates rather, cars and food and stuff like that, and was more teammate friendlier than Kobe. That's why when a lot of people say, who would you have on your team? A lot of people would say Shaq. But ladies and gentlemen, say Christmas is in December, all right? You ain't going to get stuff all the time, all right? I would have rather had Kobe simply because I know Kobe wants to win. A lot of guys this generation, whether in life, in the workforce, they want to be pampered. They want to be babied, give me the battle, But sometimes it's just not how the world works. The world is as cruel as it is. And, when you get babied and pampered, when you do get to a situation when you just got to provide for you just don't know how to provide. Yeah. Simply because you want to be babied, you want to be pampered. Listen, I'm taking Kobe any day of the week. Why? Because I know he had the assassin's mentality, right? And, and he's going to do what he has to do in the fourth quarter. Hey, if I'm not shooting good, I know Kobe out here is going to take the shots, whether he miss or not, because sometimes, Kobe's stats do look suspect simply because he took a lot of shots, and he didn't make a lot of shots, but he made the shots that counted in the finals, most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I'm taking Kobe, even though I would not discredit what Shaq had brought to the table when he was playing. And simply, I really feel like this is the thing. I really feel like Kobe Bryant, even, he was asked. Let me make that a point and clear. He was asked. But I do feel that Kobe saying it the way how he said it and Shaq coming out, I just feel like they probably have some regrets that they fell out and wasn't able to get it going together and went their separate ways, because simply they was unstoppable. And sometimes when you have a dynasty, right, and it gets in the way, things get in the way, the temptations, you know what I'm saying? One guy, he thinks he above everybody, things get away, you let David Ruffin go, and then you realize that was the heart and soul of the Temptations. You realize that, damn, what could have been if I just put check my ego to the side. Yeah. We could have won more championships. We could have been more successful together. And that's what I think with this situation. That's exactly what I think. But hey, it is what it is. Kobe and Shaq, they are two great players, one of the greatest players of all time. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously, I don't think there's any beef here. It's no rivalry. These guys are they starting to get along. And, it's just more headlines for us radio hosts to talk about, to be honest with you. But I really feel deep down inside, that there's something in these two brothers that said, you know what? If we put the ego to the side, we could have won more championships and we could have been, unbeatable.
Yeah, I just feel like with basketball in general, it is like an ego sport because it's like, it's very dominant because it's just like with the whole thing with passing the ball and just making sure like who's the star player, who's the bench player, So this whole thing, like, I'm not into sports. And for those Central New Yorkers that listen to the Real Leel Show, know that I'm not into sports. But I do know that when it does come to, like, the game of basketball, the game of football, it's a very dominant sport. And, like, it's always that one player that want to, get to the top because you have, like, the MVP player, especially, like, in basketball. So it's just like, I want to get to this stature in basketball because this is what I want. And this is what I'm going to do to get there, no matter, like, if they will have to step on their players, because I don't know if anybody to step on their players, but if they have to like step on their players to get where they have to go, they will do it.
I mean, exactly, and like you brought up, basketball out of almost all sports is very ego driven because it's very more individualized.
Yeah.
In NBA, you have the shoe deals, you have the you're on commercials, and you have all this. It's different from football. Yeah, football guys could be stars and individual stars like Tom Brady and Rodgers, but at the same time, it's not on the same level as in the NBA when you could be a mildly talented player and still be a star, still have that shoe deal, still have those endorsements, and it's hard to really contain your ego when you are in the NBA. You think about somebody like Zion Williamson, somebody that is that's now coming into the league, got all the hype around him ever since he was in college. You could just tell how it was for some of his teammates having to deal with all that Zion noise. But just coming into the NBA, having all those opportunities, it could be hard. Even a humble dude, even somebody that's humble. When you got paparazzi at your front door, came and eat dinner without the paparazzi taking pictures of you eating, it's hard to check your ego aside, even if you're humble in this generation, especially in the age of social media, Instagram. Yeah. It's hard to check your ego. So,
it would change you. Like, that's the thing with, like, I don't want to say like money and power, but once you get money, once you get the fame, like, it's going to change you.
It is.
Whether it is conscious or not. Like, you're going to be changed. And that's one thing some people don't get. But, like I said, I don't know much about basketball, but, like, it is a very egotistic, I don't know how to say that word. But I get it. It's like an ego-driven.
I'll be coming up with my own words.
Ego-driven.
Egotistic. Ego-alive.
It's something, but it's a very ego-driven sport where it's just like very, very like dominant, and that you have to be in control at all times and stuff like that because it is a sport where you have to control the ball. So it's like when you get control of the ball, then you feel like you have control over the game. So it's very controlling, and it can, do something with the ego, like boost your ego. Maybe you make your ego lower, like who knows? But it is a sport where it's just like you might have to like check yourself a little bit.
Gotta check yourself, in the words of Ice Cube. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, you better check yourself because the Real Leel Show is back. And when we come back from a very, 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 and when I say very, I mean very, like with a capital V. When we come back from a very short commercial, we are going to dive into more stuff. Matter of fact, I lied. No, I didn't lie. I never tell lies. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go nowhere. Tune into the Real Leel Show. The Knicks, we hope they get it right this time. I mean, it's been so long with the New York Knicks, and we out here as Knicks fans, we are praying, we are hoping. We have our fingers crossed, especially starting with the lottery next Tuesday. It all starts with the lottery, and then we'll see what happens.
The third pick goes to the New York Knicks.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Kevin Durant will be in a Knicks uniform, playing in MSG with Spike Lee in the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen,
6 o'clock Eastern, Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that Kevin Durant is in fact headed to Brooklyn.
I'm telling you, man, any nigga that ever looked at me wrong owes me money. whoever said any jealous bullshit about me is fucking dead. You understand what the fuck I'm saying? Hey, they're fucking dead, man. I don't give a fuck about nothing, man.
Classic JayZ, y'all. Classic JayZ right there. With Pharrell, featuring Pharrell. But ladies and gentlemen, speaking of JayZ, right? Speaking of JayZ, we gotta talk about this partnership with the NFL. Like, a lot of people is split. You know, JayZ this last month have people in a frenzy. I mean, you have people disagreeing, agreeing, you know, saying the move is a good move, saying the move is a sellout. Everybody's all over the place. People's going back and forth with it. I'm on the fence with it. All right, the Amazon is burning, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on right now. So I want to know, Mel, starting with you. All right, what are your thoughts on this JayZ situation with him partnering with the NFL? Do you think it's a sellout move, or do you think it's a move that will benefit us in the future?
I mean, I feel like it could potentially benefit us in the future. I feel like there is another way that he could have went on about this, definitely. But I did watch the video that I know Diddy posted on his Instagram that JayZ did have, and he was just like, well, JayZ basically was saying like, we're gonna sit here keep complaining about the problem, but we're not gonna do anything to like fix the problem. So it was just like a pull where it was just like, okay, I see where you're coming from, that like instead of being against the enemy, partner with the enemy. I mean, it's so many sides to this that you can take. I mean, it's just been a situation where it's just like I've been on the fence and don't really know how to take the situation, because it's like we've been fighting for the same thing over and over again and still have yet seen a change, like he said. So I'm like, what do we need to do to fix the problem? Like, granted, teaming up with the enemy may or may not fix the problem, but I'm just like, at the end of the day, it's I don't know what is left to do, to be honest. And I don't know if what he did is the best thing, but the only thing we can do is see where it goes from here, because you can't knock a problem or knock a situation before you try it. And in this sense, we can't knock it. He tried it, so let's see where it goes from here at this point.
I mean, what I think about this JayZ partnership with the NFL, honestly, I mean, a lot of people, you know, we live in a world where everybody wants to be right, obviously, and everybody has an opinion on something. So with that being said, you know, for the people that's in media that, you know, really have to have a civilized opinion on it, other than people that's just talking about it with their friends, obviously, you know, as a media host, your job is to give an opinion on something, because a lot of people look towards you to see what you have to say about it, being a media and radio personality. So with that being said, you know, not knocking anybody's opinion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For everybody that's saying, you know, we need to allow JayZ to see, that's their opinion. Could be the same for somebody else that said, all right, I think it's a sellout, but we'll see, you know? So basically, what I have to say about this is I am, like you, completely on the fence with this one. I went back and forth. I said, you know, JayZ has a history. We all know that. JayZ has a history of, you know, social justice work.
Yeah.
And the NFL, at the same time, has a history of, I don't want to get in politics. My name is Bennett, and I'm not in it.
Exactly.
You know, so what I'm going to do is, before I literally give y'all a legitimate opinion on how I feel about this move, I'm gonna read you right now a blog that I definitely wrote a couple weeks ago, and it's on the Real Fans Will Talk website. And it's a blog that I actually wrote. I took my time out my busy schedule and wrote, and I'm gonna read you my blog and then come up with a legitimate opinion. So let's get it started right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, well, not this week because this happened a couple weeks ago, but this is when I wrote it. JayZ announced his Roc Nation partnership with the NFL. In this deal, JayZ will help directly shape the NFL's social justice program and oversee much of the league's entertainment. I'm completely on the fence with this move, as I believe that this is a wait-and-see type of situation. However, I'm going to display the facts to the table so you, my friends, can hopefully come up with your own assumptions. Last year, JayZ said no to the Super Bowl halftime show, saying, "You need me, I don't need you," in his protest for Colin Kaepernick. Maybe billionaires have a different language by squashing their beefs with a simple business collaboration. I don't know. I'm not a billionaire. Got a Billionaires Boy Club t-shirt. That's as close as a billionaire I am right now. All right? WYGL is the most hated man in sports. And JayZ is seen smiling and giggling with his brother like a hyena. And I'm not lying. He's one of the most hated men in sports. His brother's laughing like, they went to high school together. I find it hard to believe that a league whose interest is in the capital dollar over minorities' well-being will suddenly become a social justice reform league. Most of these owners are busy hosting fundraisers for Trump's re-election, Stephen Ross in particular, or busy telling their players, if you kneel, I'm going to bench you, Jerry Jones. If there's a deal that was made, I would expect Colin Kaepernick to be at such meeting, or maybe he just missed his flight. Sometimes you miss a flight, life happens, I do think we need better halftime shows for sure. As last year, we found ourselves listening to Gladys Knight and seeing Big Boy come out in the car for 5 seconds and disappear. I found myself typing a college paper during the show. It had work to be done. And the show was born, so I just typed a college paper. All right? Yes, Colin Kaepernick definitely partnered with the NFL when he took that $10 million check with Eric Reed to stay in silence in his hopes of being back in a uniform. Yes, Eric Reed partnered with the NFL when he made the ultimate partnership after he was Kaepernick's right-hand man in his protest and found himself back on the NFL roster. We minority viewers, including myself, because I am a football fan in the Huddle Monday, ladies and gentlemen, don't miss that show. We minority viewers, right, like myself, are partnering with the NFL right now because we are giving them ratings for our own entertainment. So can we really be mad at a businessman adding to his billionaire status in JayZ? JayZ has a proven record of social justice work, right? We all know about the Khalid Browder story, putting out the documentary with that, helping Meek Mill, pushing this social justice reform message out there. The rapper, like I said, executive producer, already said that. Maybe this partnership can lead to an alternative route to have our first black owner in the NFL, even though reports came out recently that shot that down, even though it shot it up just to shot it down. Yeah. But maybe in the future, it possibly may be an outlet to him becoming a billionaire, right? I mean, a owner, should I say. He already hit that billionaire status, right? Maybe Colin Kaepernick's chances go up if JayZ becomes a owner, right? Because JayZ could say, you know what? All right, Kaepernick, yeah, you're on the team now, right? Maybe. But if that's the case, what was Colin Kaepernick's point of kneeling in the first place? I personally feel like us looking to Hove to be God and make massive changes to an already stubborn league known as the NFL is setting up lots of people for a major disappointment. So, ladies and gentlemen, is this a sellout or another classic business move? Guess we must be patient to have a legitimate answer, but since we are on the Real Leel Show, I might as well give you an opinion. And ladies and gentlemen, based on my opinion, based on gathering facts and going back and forth like I'm in a daggone seesaw, I just had to say, ladies and gentlemen, I really think that it is a sellout move by JayZ's part, simply because the NFL personal interest is not in social justice. A lot of ESPN is getting conservative now. You talk politics, you're gonna get shown the door. You're gonna get fired. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is being stiffened up in social, issues and stuff like that. Even comedians, they can't even talk about certain things anymore without them, getting canceled and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff is being tamed, and I feel like JayZ is only seeing performances, halftime, entertainment. I don't know what kind of performance is going to galvanize 75,000 people to just suddenly hold hands and sing Kumbaya and say, all right, let's come together. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there are social messages that can be made by performance.
I mean, just with you saying the whole thing with, Colin Kaepernick and things like that, I'm not saying, I'm giving up on, the entire, movement that he is doing. Okay, if I say but, that means I'm disregarding everything that I said yet, that's a good one. Yet we have him,
Keywords.
Yeah, very much so keywords. Yet we have Colin Kaepernick and taking deals. So it's, I'm at a point where it's just like, it could be a sellout, but the beauty of, I don't know. I guess the beauty of being a billionaire is that this might just be a classic move.
What?
It just might be a classic business move. But like we said, we know JayZ for being like, social justice. But this, not to go off topic, but just to have relations to it, when the whole thing with Gucci came out, that is when Ava DuVernay collabed with Gucci to be on their social justice team, and everybody was mad at her. And it's like, it's like, yes, we could be mad, but what are we going to do about the problem? Because we're going to sit here, we're going to protest, we're going to cancel. What are we going to do about the problem? No matter how you look at it, they're still going to get money. You're still going to have people that's still going to support these things. So I'm confused. Half of these people are like, oh yeah, we're going to cancel the NFL, but you sitting here dedicated every Sunday, or how many times the NFL or football games come on, you're watching it. So I'm confused about like people that sit there and complain about the problem yet still support the problem, but then get mad when somebody else do something within the problem. Like, what are we gonna do? Because I feel like the more that we sit here and we argue and we cancel this and cancel that, and the more you cancel, we ain't gonna have anything. So
exactly.
let's stop canceling.
Cancel everything, cancel life. We ain't gonna have life. You know what I'm saying? What if God said I cancel the world? I mean, bye-bye. We out of here.
So the more like we keep canceling things, we're just honestly throwing it under the rug, and the more the rug gets filled, there's gonna be a lump underneath the rug. You're gonna eventually have to, that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep throwing stuff underneath the rug in my room so my room looks clean, but at the end, when you remove that rug, all that stuff is still there. So we need to do something with the problem, rather than just sitting here canceling. Oh no, can't be with you, cancel. How about we find ways to fix the problem? Like, fix it. Like, we all need to start fixing. We all speak up for that little time. We all do our little post on Instagram, change our little Facebook icons to this, that, and the other, but nobody does anything about the problem. Like, we just sit here, we use social media for one thing, and guess what? We're back to our regular lives. Like, we're back on to worrying about the same thing. Like, me, I'm gonna be honest, I literally forgot all about the NFL situation, because I'm like, at the end of the day, Colin Kaepernick is still doing what he's doing. I felt bad, but then when I was hearing from you that he's taking on these $1 million deals,
I mean,
like,
to a certain degree,
I'm not mad at him. You gotta do what you gotta do, but at the end of the day,
when I first heard like he took the settlement, I was like, okay, like it would look strange. But then again, I mean, why not get compensated if you have an opportunity to make a protest? Because Colin Kaepernick never really said he was going to do anything further. He didn't even make light of the situation. It was when they came to him and asked what he was doing, he was saying he was kneeling because of all the stuff that was going on. But at the same time, why not get compensated? A lot of dudes that do stand up for, especially black people, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. A lot of these guys died broke. So we sit there and be like, all right, we support them, but these guys are dying broke. If you have a chance to take a knee and do all this protest and get compensated for the protest, why not get compensated for the protest? You know what I'm saying? All right, okay, I'm getting money off Nike, of a Nike commercial. Off Nike. Yeah, I know they're using me, but at the same time, I'm getting compensated. I'm still promoting my message. So it's not like, oh, they saying, all right, you're not allowed to promote your message. Your message. You still promoting your message, but you're getting paid for it. So I'm not gonna knock him for taking the money. You know what I'm saying? And then it is a partnership, but I'm not allowing him, knock him to take the money. I would take the money too.
Do anything.
But at the same time, I want to make this point very clear on the JayZ thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is a notable point. The NFL, as far as ratings, a lot of people like to get it mixed up. You got to be very specific. Ratings didn't drop in the NFL this year. Let's get that straight. A lot of people's getting it mixed up. Ratings did not drop.
Did it go up?
All right, it did not drop. And in fact, it did go up. There's a lot of games, especially like the night games and a lot of major games, it went up. However, the Super Bowl viewership went down. That was the thing that went down. And that was because a lot of artists, what they were doing, Cardi B, Rihanna, They were canceling. They was like, I'm not doing it because I'm in protest of Colin Kaepernick. And what is the premise of this deal by the NFL? To get JayZ in the halftime show, to have him, you know, see the entertainment side. He going to be picking the halftime performance. So what I see when I think about that is that the NFL saw a hole in their business and said, you know what, JayZ, you're the face of black people. Come over here and fix this problem. Oversee our halftime show, oversee the entertainment side. And that's why I think that the NFL is basically using JayZ, and I think JayZ should be smart enough to know that the NFL is using him, and that's why I think this is a sellout move.
JayZ is not dumb.
No, he's not dumb. I mean, you don't get a billionaire, you don't get to that status.
They're using him, and
the question is he using them?
Oh yeah, it's something.
Is he using them to do like a revolt or something like that?
I don't know what he's doing, but that's the thing about JayZ. He move in silence, and when it happens, you're gonna know. But I feel like JayZ is not a dumb businessman. He's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire. You don't become a billionaire. You don't become a billionaire by waking up and playing video games all day.
I'm sure that when he presented this idea, he came with a contract and what he wanted and what they are allowed to take from him. It's no way that I'm gonna go into business with you, because at the end of the day, they need him. In some shape or form, they need him. That's why it's like they're using him. But he is doing something, like, that contract says something. I don't know. Of course, we don't know what the contract says, but I feel like that contract
I just find it, you know, something. Like, you know, we moved past kneeling. I mean, we didn't move past kneeling. This guy's still making protests. So for him to say we moved past kneeling, I think he could have said it in a way where we could have not got caught up by it. He could have said, all right, you know what? If people still want to kneel, because he was asked, would you still be kneeling? He could have said, you know, players still want to kneel because that's their right. That's their amendment right. That's what makes the country so good. Yes. All right, that you have a right to your freedom of opinion. If they want to kneel, they can kneel. Yeah. If they don't want to kneel, we'll take the next further steps or whatever to do to solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? Not we move past kneeling. This guy's still making protests. Yeah. You know, so I just find it hard to believe. A lot of people, to some degree, I would say this. You know, I'm not going to fault Kaepernick for taking a knee. At the end of the day, once you make a lot of a situation, a big situation that's going on in America, as we see with police brutality and, you know, black men and white police officers, if you want to use your job as a way to promote what you have to promote, I'm not going to knock you for it, because I am a black man. I do live in America. Definitely. I do have to deal with this because of the color of my skin. Yep. So I'm not going to be mad at you. However, at the same time, as the NFL, I can understand the NFL being a business league and wanting to push him out, because at the end of the day, you messing up my money. You messing up my business. Guys are not going to want to watch or come to the games because they want to be patriotic to the flag. And at the same time, I find that hard to believe, because if you're really a football fan, how you allowing somebody kneeling mess you up and mess your 25 years of you wearing a jersey every Sunday? You don't want to put it on because he's taking a knee. I don't understand that. But at the same time, I could understand why the NFL want to, you know, single him out and push him to the side because of the money. At the end of the day, the NFL is a business, just like every other job. You really can't go to, let's say you work at Burlington. You can't go to Burlington and take a knee and say, oh, I'm taking a knee because I'm protesting police brutality. They're going to be like, you're going to take that over there. If you have a situation in Burlington that's a Burlington situation and you want to take a knee because of a Burlington situation, then it's fine. You know, obviously. But you bring another situation, it's better off him going to the daggone police station and take a knee right in front of the daggone police station, instead of just bringing it to the NFL. But at the same time, he did it. I support him on it simply because it's highlighting the issue that a lot of people is afraid to tackle at the end of the day.
And people are still afraid to tackle it to this day. So no, we're not over kneeling. I don't agree with him on that. But with this move that he made, it is very hard, and it may sound like I'm supporting it 100%. I am still confused with the whole thing, and I feel like this is just something that we all have to wait for it to unravel, for us to be able to judge. Like, us prejudging is not going to do anything with the situation. That's why it's just best for us to wait to see what happens. If it does create change, then hey, he did the right thing. If it doesn't create change, then we could be like, hey Jay, like, nah, that ain't it, Chief. Like, you just let it go at this point, because we were fine where we were at. But it's at the point where we just have to actually see what happens and where it goes from here, honestly.
And another thing too, I really feel like, you know, at the end of the day, we don't have any evidence, so this is really a wait and see situation. Obviously, this is just our opinions, and obviously, I mean, I wouldn't look towards the celebrities and the Hot 97s for their opinions, simply because they have ties, having them have ties to JayZ anyway. They're gonna be pro JayZ, they're gonna be pro their mans. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's how you are with your friends. You know, I give him the benefit of the doubt because that's my bro. So at the end of the day, it's, you know, like I said, I'm not a big fan of it, simply because I know that the NFL is using JayZ now. Do JayZ got a massive plan behind him? I mean, do you want to ask the same thing about Kanye West when he met with Trump? Do Kanye West have some type of revolt that, you know, he's gonna bring after meeting Trump? I mean, that's kind of ballistic to think about. So I feel like, I mean, think about it. Listen, I know we FCC regulated, but if I ain't cussing, I ain't cussing. And I ain't cussing on the FCC airways. Why? Because I'm not trying to get no fine, right? I mean, textbooks is expensive, you know. In my senior year, I got a lot of bills senior year, graduation gowns and stuff like that, you know. So I ain't going, you know, but I'm still going to give it to you real, because my name is Real Leel, and this is the Real Leel Show, right? But I would say this. How would people feel if... Let's go back in the times of the 60s when Martin Luther King, I have a dream, right? How would people feel if Martin Luther King did all that, or Malcolm X? I'll take Malcolm X to be example, to be honest with you, because Martin Luther King was more of the passive aggressive guy. Let's take Malcolm X to be example, the guy that was like, oh, we gotta revolt, we gotta get our own everything, right? Let's take Malcolm X. What if Malcolm X just suddenly out of nowhere, I don't know, decide to partner up with the KKK or something like that? How would people feel? They would be like, "Oh, Malcolm X partnering with the KKK." I mean, that would have been the you know, crazy. That would have been like, what are you doing, Malcolm X? Like, Malcolm X, you know, really?
People wouldn't.
So that's what you know. I'm not saying this is on the same level. I'm just saying, just, you know, for you as JayZ to come out and come at people and celebrities and say, no, don't perform. Because a lot of people, JayZ is the face of black culture. He's our first, artist billionaire or whatever. So, black artist billionaire. So, obviously the brother is doing something right. Obviously there's guys that are going to want to look at him because he's doing something right. Obviously. He's doing something that a lot of people didn't do. So he's doing something right. So we look to him. If JayZ say hop, how high, JayZ? You know what I'm saying? So if you tell people not to perform at halftime, chances are a lot of people is going to listen to you. If you telling people, oh, don't perform. We in root with Colin Kaepernick, right? You telling Jermaine Dupri, oh, don't do business with the NFL because that's going to be a bad move. And then you turn around 6 months later and then you partner with the NFL. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it yet. I mean, like I said, if he somehow has a plan up his sleeve, then I get right on the air and say, you know what, JayZ, you're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. And a lot of people will argue and say, Jaleel, what are you waiting for? He is the GOAT. No. I don't think he's the GOAT. I mean, you probably the GOAT of business decisions. He's right up there with a lot of people. But, you know, I'll just say he's the GOAT at life. You know, if he somehow could do magic. You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't know.
But there's other, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, there's other guys that the NFL could have went to. You know what I'm saying? They went to JayZ because JayZ is, you know, good in certain things. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, I'm not pro it, but hey, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is.
Yeah, this is a situation where I'm just, I don't know. I honestly don't know, like, what to say about it, because I'm like, every day is always a shocker. And, especially, like, it's always a shocker in everything. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. At this point, like I said, all there's left for us to do, or if you want to do it, but all there's left for me to do is just see how this plan unravels. That's all I can do at this point. He did what he did. He signed a contract. That's it. Like, that's all we can do. Just wait to see what's gonna happen with it.
And ladies and gentlemen, like Mel just said, we just gotta wait and see. We gotta wait and see, you know? We gotta wait and see. So with that being said, we're gonna come back off a quick commercial break. We're gonna play a song, another song, you know? I'm feeling a little buzzed tonight simply because it's Labor Day weekend. A lot of people are gonna be partying. So you know what a lot of people wanna know? They wanna know where the party at. You know what I'm saying? They wanna know where the party at. So you know I'm gonna play that song where the party at, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we got the ground report. Mel with the ground report. We're going to get into some more stuff, a lot of pop culture, a lot of things that's going on in society, in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's Labor Day weekend, man. Where the party at? Where the party? I mean, I think, you know, the way how he did it was different. You know, he articulated his viewpoints in a more chillaxed manner. And I feel like, you know, it was understandable to a lot of people. But I feel like, you know, protest comes in all forms. You know, you have the kneeling. You know, that's a form of protest. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, but it's a form of protest. The epic speech, like Martha McGraw when she was on Notre Dame and she went on the speech about women's equality, that's a form of protest. And then you got the peaceful tweets, that could be a protest or in form of social media. So he articulated well, and I feel like, you know, people in this generation, especially with Trump in office, they don't know how to articulate their viewpoints without starting a riot, you know? So I like the way how he went about it.
Well, I want to give kudos to you for you even sound like a young black man and being smart. No, that's real rap though. That's real rap. We were chopping it up the other day, and you know what I mean? You're a very smart young man, and a lot of guys his age don't really think like that, don't really understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back from commercial, and it's time to get into the next couple of topics right now that we got here. Obviously, when it's around this time, ladies and gentlemen, when it's around August, September, we are in the middle of the U.S. Open. And, you know, I love the U.S. Open because, you know, it's a nice weather, obviously, before it makes a transition to the bad weather. But, you know, you got fresh legs. You got, you know, stars like Serena Williams, Roger Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. And now, you know, adding to the mix, Coco.
Yeah.
She's a new star on the block. She's the new kid and star on the block. 15-year-old Coco Guaff, she's continuing her run. Obviously, she made a lot of headlines in the last tournament, the last major tournament, when she came out of the scene. She came out of nowhere. And in sports, or even in music, sports, we have people just come out of nowhere, and they just hot. Like, they just come out of nowhere.
It's like that all the time. I would say, like, I've heard about her prior to, like, the U.S. Open because it was just, like, you know, she's really good. She's only 15, and it was, like, these, like, younger, you know, tennis players, and they talk about how, like, Serena Williams is their, like, idol and stuff like that. So, like, she's, like, I've heard about her, and I'm just, like, wow, like, 15 years old. But then, like, you think about it, most of these, you know, tennis players and stuff like that all start at a young age. But for her, it's just, like, she's, like, knocking it out the box, like, at 15. You know what I mean? So it's just, like, it's amazing, honestly.
It is amazing, and you know the fact that she's 15 and she has a lot of praise from these superstars. Kobe Bryant was just praising her. He was at the game calling the tennis game a couple days ago, and he was giving her a lot of praise. A lot of NBA stars like James Harden and Embiid, Embiid indeed. I call him Embiid indeed. I would say indeed. Embiid indeed. You know, guys like him, they're giving this girl a lot of praise, and you know the crowd, you know, cheering Coco, Coco. I mean, for a 15-year-old, I mean, that has to feel special.
Yeah.
Knowing that, you know, you look up to players like Serena Williams, you know, and say, I want to be like her. And next thing you know, at age 15, you on that stage, have an opportunity, probably if you get past this matchup later on, which is going to be a hard matchup, against the number one ranked tennis player in the tournament. You know, she's going to have her hands full. But just to live the experience, you know, sometimes you don't always come out on top. But to go through the experience, to have the crowd over there, you know, chanting your name, Coco, Coco, to have your parents on first take, you know, like this morning, it got to be something special for this girl.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's not an average 15-year-old life. So it's like, of course, it's like you go from probably, like, going to school, going to practice, going to school, going to practice, to, like, yeah, I'm going to school, going to practice, but a whole bunch of people, like, hundreds and thousands of people know who I am. Potentially millions of people know who I am. So I could only I don't understand, but I can only imagine, like, how she, like, feels right now to, like you said, like, from her going to looking up to, like, Serena to possibly playing against her. So, like, that is something big. Like, it's just like you saying like, oh my God, like I can't wait to, meet this person, and I want to be just like this person, to like, oh snap, like I'm working with this person. Like that would be something like so crazy, and like a dream come true for a lot of people. And I'm sure for her, like that's like really like a huge like accomplishment to her. She's only 15. She has her whole life in front of her, and like I only wish her the best. And I know from here on out it's just only gonna go up for her.
And you talk about being in the room with somebody that you looked up to on TV and say, oh, okay, I want to be like that person. Yeah. I could just remember, reflecting on my days, because this is my senior year. So it's only right that I have flashbacks of my college experiences, starting today. But it makes me reflect back to freshman year when I met Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith in the studio. Charles Barkley is my guy. Like, that's the dude that I said, all right, when I do this radio, the sports radio, whatever it is, broadcast, whatever, I'm more into the radio side than the broadcast side. But nevertheless, being a sports radio personality, Charles Barkley was one of the guys that I wanted to imitate, that I wanted to, be like. And sit there and watch the Final Four with Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith, to me, that was something special. That changed my life, to be honest with you, because it was like, you know what? Now I'm going to chase this. Now I'm going to be here on the airwaves in Cortland right now on a nice sunny day, on a Friday, 77 degrees. I'm going to be right here sitting next to Mel and having a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting with the rhymes today.
I see. You are spitting fire right now.
You feel me? Like, that's how it is. And I could just imagine how young Coco Guaff is feeling being on this stage now. Yeah. She hasn't played her idol yet because, in Serena, she has a tough task ahead of her tonight at 7 o'clock when she goes up against Naomi Osaka, if I'm saying her last name right. I'm not good with pronouncing names, you feel me? But, she's number one, Naomi. She's ranked number one.
I've heard a lot
she
about
beat
her.
Serena Williams in this tournament last year in the U.S. Open. We all know what happened with the Empire, and the Empire just, on speed dial, because that's exactly what I think would happen. He was on speed dial and whatever. He was just had a personal vendetta. You know how people abuse their authority sometimes, and, that's what I think. So she was able to beat Serena Williams last year. She has a lot of momentum. She's ranked number one. And Coco got her hands full. But at the end of the day, even if Coco lose, she still got the momentum of the crowd. She still has the crowd chanting her name. Yep. So we'll see what happens. Maybe she'll get the upset tonight. Hey. I'm going to be watching. Before I go out with my friend, I'm going to be watching.
Yeah.
For sure. See if she gets this upset.
This should be extremely interesting because it's like they're both young. I think Naomi's like 21. And then you have like Coco, who's like 15. She's the youngest that I read. But I know like both of them look up to Serena. So it's just interesting to see like, two people that have like, this, how can I say, that have this aspiration to like want to not be like Serena, but have like specific ways like Serena to play against each other to possibly, get to that spot where either Naomi can play Serena again or for Coco to play Serena for the first time. So it's just like really interesting. Like they both have the same idol and they're both going against each other. But, at the end of the day, I'm here for my black sisters, and I wish them the best. Either match that they do play against, I'm rooting for the both of them, and I'll be happy with either one, like whoever wins. I don't like I shouldn't say I don't care who wins, but in a sense it's just like I'm gonna be happy even if one win, even if one lose. Like I know that at the end of the day they still have that potential to win something else, So
exactly.
I just have this attitude where it's just like I just want one of them to win. And I'll be happy for whoever wins. And, of course, I'm going to be, like, sad for the other person. But it's like, I know they got the next round. Like,
Exactly.
So.
And Serena Williams, speaking of Serena Williams, she won today in straight sets. First set, 6-3. Second set, 6-2. And once again, Serena Williams showing a lot of people, showing the world why she's dominant. And continue to make my point that I made a while now, like a year now, of me saying that Serena Williams is the most dominant athlete of all time. No, of the last 10 years, should I say, the last decade, she's ranked number one simply because of her dominance. She made easy work today. She's probably gonna go to the finals. Now the question is, does she win the finals? Because she had a lot of finals losses previously in a lot of tournaments. You know, obviously one being in the U.S. Open with what we just talked about with the Empire taking a lot of points.
Yeah.
She still was competitive in that game regardless, but she couldn't overcome that, and she lost in Wimbledon this past year. So she had a couple finals losses in major tournaments. So hopefully, you know, I kind of want her to win, even though a lot of people look at Coco like, all right, she's 15-year-old, let her experience her first time winning the. I mean, either way, can't go wrong. But at the same time, I feel like Serena Williams want that bounce back game, because ever since she got pregnant and had the kid, she hasn't really won the major tournament yet. So we'll see.
Having a baby take a as a okay, I've never been pregnant before, but like as a woman,
and you ain't trying to get pregnant anytime soon,
oh,
right?
No. I know that as a woman, like when you have a child, your body do go through changes. The inside of your body, like internally, externally, like your body goes through a lot. So I know it's gonna be hard for her to bounce back. Plus, she's getting older. Like, you know, her bones are not functioning the same way. Like, it's gonna take some time for her to bounce back. And it's okay for her, like, sometimes to not bounce back completely because she's human. So it's as a human, like with the human body, it could only take so much. So, you know, as time goes on, I know she's gonna keep working hard and just put her all into every game that she do like go through and stuff like that. But you know, when it does come to like the human body, you only do but so much.
You only do but so much. When father times, or should I say mother time, arrive, you know, in Serena's case, mother time arrives. It's time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But right now, she has a perfect opportunity to win the U.S. Open. I end up predicting that she will win, and we'll see. We'll see. I can't bet against Serena Williams, but we'll see. Coco, like I said, she plays tonight against the number 1 ranked opponent, and you know, I predicting that she will lose, but if she wins, what can I say? Go Coco.
Yeah, I'm gonna be happy. Hey, you know, don't pray on nobody downfall, but you know, you just gotta. I'm just here for it all. I'm just here like to see like, you know, 2 young women, just thriving in like, you know, sports and things like that, because as women, like sometimes we get looked down upon in sports and stuff. So like just to see, you know, 2 women, especially of like African descent,
especially, you know, like in a conservative sport.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, I won't say African descent. I mean, yes, in a way, but like Naomi, like her father's like Haitian, and her mom is, you know, I think her mom is Japanese. I think
she look a little Japanese.
I think her mom is Japanese. So you know, to see like a biracial young girl out here, you know, just trying to like prove her point, and then you have, you know, Coco, who's out here as a young black girl that's trying to prove her point as well. I just feel like it's amazing because they're just throwing their all out there on the field and honestly not caring what nobody has to say. I'm not saying they don't, but I hope they don't care, because at the end of the day, they doing things that some people out here are not doing, and I'm proud of them for that. Like, I totally commend them, because I'm just like, man, if I had the bravery to go on TV and take a L, take a W, like, that's a lot. But, you know, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of motivation, and honestly, I'm proud of the both of them, to be honest.
Exactly, me too, and we'll see what happens tonight. What made you start up this event known as Ballin' for Peace?
Ballin' for Peace came from the whole Mike Brown and Eric Gardner situation. I saw like a lot of violence going on, and like senseless violence. Like it was a weird time. Like 5 years ago, it was like weird. Like, you know, police choking dudes out and like,
it was a lot.
What's going on? And then
nothing
happened.
Getting worse too.
Yeah, it is getting worse.
It's insane. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you look at I don't really watch the news too much, because every time I watch the news, it's just depressing.
It's depressing,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, I only watch it to know the weather.
Exactly.
So, like, I look at my weather channel. I look at all right,
exactly.
cool. I know what to wear. Like, you know what I'm saying?
My parents watch that faithfully. I can't watch that.
It's bad though, son. Every time they won't like Ballin' for Peace. Like, not no pun intended, but like they won't put that out there like that.
The Real Leel Show, ladies and gentlemen. The Real Leel Show. Where the party at, man? Where is the party at, ladies and gentlemen? We know it's Labor Day weekend. Y'all probably thinking about what party y'all gonna go to tonight. You know, I might pop out to one tonight myself. You know, just to get out. You know, it's nice outside. There's a lot of stuff going on. They're having a party by my block. Actually, my mom called me earlier and told me that these cats is having a party right now. And I'm just like, you know what? I wish I was home. I wish I was back in the city right now. You know what I'm saying? As we are on the WYGL live coming up right now, and as we are in the live streams, obviously on Monday we'll be on the 90.5 airways on In the Huddle. Where's the party at? Mel, can you please tell me where the party at? Do you know where the party at? You know?
I mean, I ain't dropping location.
Oh, you ain't. Oh, yeah. We can't have that. We can't have that. But you know where the party at, though, right?
Yeah, I know where the party
All right, you can tell me where the party at after the show is over, because we can't have no locations. Mess around and have Khalid come over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want that. You don't want that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Mel, would you take us away with our ground report for this week's episode of the Real Leel Show, episode 29?
All right, so we are definitely hitting the grind report, which will be about the Amazon. I know you guys have been hearing news about the Amazon and how it has been on fire for literally over a month. So like a month and a week that the, Amazon has been on fire, and honestly, many leaders have been, taking small steps. For our U.S. president did not want to attend the G7, so actually it was like G6, and most of the people from G6 came together and they did raise money. $20 million they got to go towards the Amazon fire, and we also have a wonderful actor that we all seem to love. We have
one of my favorite actors of all time, actually, to be honest with you.
Man, a good actor. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio did pledge to make $5 million from his foundation to put towards the Amazon fire. Now, I know that a lot of people have been reposting in their Instagram, as for myself, has been reposting and raising awareness because of the lack of news coverage that we have been receiving on this Amazon fire, where we need to be more aware of what is going on and need to be hands-on with the situation, being that the Amazon fire, it is the earth's lungs, and at this point it's like a collapsed lung in a sense.
Exactly. I can't breathe.
So it's like we need to save the earth's lungs before we run out of air for our own personal lungs. So I definitely commend Leonardo DiCaprio.
I mean, I just brought up, I played the song with the party at. I mean, I don't want to go to a party and pass out because I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it was hot in there. But yeah, I mean,
that's just them. I just feel like we need to laugh more. We need to love more. We need to live more. Like, come on, y'all. Let's use the 3 L's that people be hanging on the
and
walls
stop fighting
in the house.
And stop fighting at the daggone Popeyes chicken at that too as well. Like, people over here wilding at Popeyes. Then they canceled it. They canceled the chicken, right? They canceled. They bought it out.
They sold. First of all, how you sell out a chicken sandwiches? You are known to have chickens. You are known to sell chickens. How you run a chicken sandwich?
I'd rather that than them coming up with some new type of chicken that's not even real.
But, exactly. So, but at this
that's
point,
a whole other topic.
If you didn't try it, I didn't try it. I wanted to try it. If it's meant to be, it'll be.
If y'all try it, let me know in the comments too as well when the video come out. I want to know a lot of things from y'all. I want to know what y'all think about JayZ, Sellout or not. I want to know what y'all think about the Dave Chappelle series, because I have not seen it. I will watch it this weekend. I want to know what you think about the Popeyes or whatever and stuff like that. And a lot of stuff that we talked about. I want to know y'all opinion.
Let's
subscribe to the channel too.
Drop all your comments down below.
Drop them like it's hot. Drop them like it's hot. Hey. But I want to get into this this new allegation that came out.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, just out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Just like how we almost get every allegation out of nowhere. Yeah. Richard Pryor Jr., this report that he was molested by comedian Paul Mooney. Now, where do I want to start with this? It's, I'm reaching right now because I don't know how to start, because
I didn't, okay, how can I start this? Yeah, that's a great question. So, in this situation, like, today was my first time, like, when I opened up this document, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. I was like, hold up, whoa, wait a minute. First of all, I didn't know Richard Pryor had a son. So I was just like, oh snap. And I was like, the sad thing is, like, I wouldn't want Richard Pryor's son in the news about something like this. I know we've touched upon, I know we touched upon Terry Crews and the documentaries that came out with R. Kelly and Michael Jackson, and it's just like, it just breaks my heart more and more. And when the Terry Crews statement came out, I had sympathy towards the situation, because I'm like, as a man in society, like, you're not supposed to be like, you're supposed to be macho man, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that, like, you're not supposed to fold, like, that whole thing where it's just like, yeah, if somebody touch you like this, just beat them up. And I'm like, in situations you go into complete shock, and it's like you don't know how to take the situation. And plus, Richard Pryor Jr., they was like, he was young, so that's a situation that's hard. Like, a young boy going through this, like, I feel for him. And I'm hoping that these allegations are true. I'm not gonna sit there and say they are not true. I don't know. But Paul Mooney's saying that this is not true. But of course, anybody would say anything just so that they don't look bad.
And then another report in here said that Richard Pryor actually put out a $1 million hit on him after finding out.
Yeah.
So what is noticeable and what is real and not fake or not alleged, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that it did happen. And because we all know, like, I mean, I always thought Paul Mooney was gay. He canceled his show. He was supposed to have a show at the, I forgot what day it was, but he was supposed to have a show. I had everything right here at the Atlanta Comedy Theater. He was supposed to appear on Wednesday and Thursday. He canceled it. He says it's due to health reasons, but I don't believe that. I mean,
if these allegations came out and you was about to have a show, I am sure somebody would cancel.
Yes.
Because it's like you don't want
yeah,
that
you don't
heat.
want that. You don't want that heat that's gonna come to you.
And
God's
honestly,
gonna be coming, rapers, this and that.
Like a lot can happen, and like I always say, like, it's only but so much a human can take. And like, if it is for health reasons, well, I'm so sorry that he's dealing with these health issues and things like that. But if it's because of the allegations, like, yeah, I think you need to sit down and try to reevaluate your life at this point, because
exactly,
this is something I would not wish on anyone.